I'm Sydney Spores, this is the Majestics dance team,
and you're watching Leopard Spotlight!
Welcome everyone to the third edition of the Leopard Spotlight for the 2020-2021 school year. I'm Christian Giordano.
And I'm Nolan Novotny. In this edition, the Fine Arts Department showed off their talent in a virtual space. One of our very own Lovejoy students gives us an in-depth look into becoming a competitive horseback rider, and we take a look into a senior's passion for programming. But first, Ellen takes us on a ride to the car shop where a Lovejoy student works to become a mechanic.
For senior Garrett Zale, becoming a mechanic is in his genes. Working at his father's shop, Garrett is learning engineering skills firsthand.
My favorite part about it is actually getting to work on cars and learn how they actually work.
Garrett doesn't just work on other people's cars, it is a personal process for him. He works on his own truck, which was given to him by his father and helped spark Garrett's interest in becoming a mechanic.
The only other thing that really got me started is more of just me trying to get my first truck and trying to put different things on it and see how it runs and just learn how everything worked.
Garrett spends most of his time learning the trade at his father's shop.
Oh, we've been trying to give him guidance in the industry, what's upcoming, where we came from in the past, and what vehicles were and what they are now.
Garrett had to prove his dedication before he started working on cars. He started with cleaning cars that were brought in and worked his way up to engineering.
Well, like a lot of guys in the industry, Garrett started at the bottom, sweeping, cleaning, keeping the shop clean, keeping tools clean and organized. The guys in the shop have taken him on as an apprentice, as a mentor, and showing him what he needs to know to be successful in the future.
While Garrett has always had a passion for cars, the details of how to repair and construct a car were learned from his father, Craig Zale.
He really told me about how to become a mechanic. He made me meet a lot of people and get me started into classes and to learn how to really become a mechanic.
In addition to his dad, Garrett's co-workers have given him their perspectives on the best way to work on cars, and he has now become their apprentice.
They're definitely pushing me into it, kind of. They're trying to help me first, is what I really see out of them. And they give me a lot of experience, and they're giving me the tools and information I need to succeed.
Jamie Castellano, the shop's master tech, has also encouraged Garrett to pursue this as his career.
Yeah, he's smart. You have to be smart to work on cars. They're mostly electronic these days, so you got to be smart and know how to diagnose and troubleshoot.
While a long road is ahead of him, Garrett is determined to become a mechanic and use the skills he learned at his father's mechanic shop to shift his career into gear. This is George Burrs, Jake Piccirillo, and Connor Dunn reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
With the coronavirus still going on around us, Lovejoy traditions have had to adapt along with it. Nolan, Justin, Kat, and I zoom your way.
During a pandemic, the Fine Arts Department got creative with how to hold the annual Fine Arts Festival that shows off students' greatest pieces of work over a semester.
So the Fine Arts Festival is an opportunity for all of Lovejoy Arts to come together and really showcase our programs, what we've been working on during the fall semester.
Ms. Jacqueline Simone explains how these rules have caused changes within the Majestics.
So we get to perform our holiday kick routine, and then we usually will showcase one of the performances that we've done during the pep rally season. Before COVID, we would do live performances and invite community, friends, and families to come and watch the girls and see all the hard work that they've been putting into the year.
The Fine Arts Department is changing up the event this year by making all of the concerts a virtual experience. Fine Arts Director Dr. Fela Matthew shares how preparations for performances during a pandemic has brought new challenges for the various programs.
Planning to do a pre-recorded festival is more like producing a big event now. It was already an event, but we did not have to factor in recording, audio, digital, those components of it. So we have a professional company coming in to help us with those pieces. For our faculty, especially the ones who may have virtual students that aren't coming on campus, I think their preparations may look a little bit different also when they're trying to prepare music ensembles or theater works. So preparations are different this year, but I think our focus to get a product out into our community is very congenial among our staff. So that piece, the desire to make it happen is just like it always is. It just looks different like everything else does right now.
Junior Carly Roth expresses how the orchestra has been limited and how theirs and the community's connection has wavered.
I think it'll still be inclusive, and most of the community will watch us perform and want to listen to us play, because we're a pretty tight-knit community, and they come and they like to hear the orchestra.
This is Justin Lewis, Christian Giordano, Nolan Novotny, and Kat Smith reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
Saddle up and join Carter, Annabeth, Noah, and Matthew for the story.
Freshman Gianna Bierman and her mom, Lori Bierman, share a passion for a unique hobby, one that has strengthened their relationship over the years.
My mom rode horses when she was younger, and when I was 2, my granddad bought me my first horse, Cookie, and then I learned how to ride with my mom, and so it's just been in our family.
Oh, it's just one of the things that we share and have in common, and so it's always nice when you have that moment that you can just say, hey, let's go out and ride, and we just are able to spend some good quality time together. It's a stress reliever. Being out on a horse is just a good way to let off steam, and so, a lot of times we just ride around in circles and talk, while we're riding, and, just talk about anything, and so it's just some good bonding time.
Because Gianna started riding horses at a young age, there were challenges she had to face growing up alongside her new passion.
Definitely one of the challenges is getting in sync with your horse, which just takes time, and you have to be able to trust each other to successfully show and ride.
The horses are on average about 1,000 pounds. And so when she started riding, she was 5. And so to put a 5-year-old child on a 1,000-pound horse, you just have to be hopeful that they can manage it. And so she's been really good at being able to manage and kind of work through that.
Each horse has their own unique personality, and therefore each horse brought Gianna different obstacles she had to overcome.
Some of the biggest challenges are trust with your horse. You have to be in sync and able to perform well together. And you have to be very patient with your companion and your teammate in these shows.
I think the biggest thing is when you get thrown off, you just have to get back on. It's going to happen, and you're going to be scared the next time you get on the horse, but you can't let them know that, because they need to know that you're boss, and so you just always get back on the horse that threw you.
With Lori being her mother and her trainer, she has watched her daughter grow up, not only at home, but at the stables.
One is she's gotten a lot stronger. Again, starting out when you're a little kid, her legs barely went down on the side of the horse, and so to try to get the horse to go and to listen and do everything, it was challenging when she was little, but the bigger she got and the stronger she got, then the more precise she could get with things. And so now, she knows how to just touch the horse in a certain way and get him to do exactly what she needs to do.
It took Gianna years to realize in order to keep her relationship strong with her mother, she had to separate the roles of mother and trainer.
It's good most of the times. There are some times when it's mother/trainer, and the mother side is kind of, come on, get this done, and the daughter side is going, I don't want to listen to you right now. But those times are very few and far between. And so, when we get to that point, we just take a break and then come back and try it again.
As Gianna has grown over the years, she has made herself and her mother proud.
Oh gosh, it's amazing. She's done so much. She has a whole room full of ribbons that she has won at shows, and she's just gone from doing little shows to being able to compete at the state level, and that's been so fun to watch.
This is Carter Lewis, Noah Nadu, Annabeth Smith, and Matthew Urquhart reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
One senior has the code to success. Cheney, John, Lee, and Aiden have the story.
Actually, what? I forgot about that. For millions of high schoolers across the nation, video games are a fun way to pass time.
It's the easiest way to get around a bunch. You're able to, get like this in touch with the game, and I think it's really cool.
After being introduced to the Pokemon franchise in 4th grade, senior PK Kotra immediately became a fan, leading him to create his own Pokemon game during freshman year.
I got super into it. Pretty much bought all the games every year, and I came up with a ton of ideas on my own, and then eventually that led up to freshman year when I decided to start making my own game. At first, it was just me and one other artist, and now we have a dev team of about 16 people working on it.
Without the support of his family and friends, PK says that there is no way that his plans for his game could ever come to fruition.
It has these qualities about it where you can see, oh, this is what he did, and I think it's really cool that it's I can see that this is the part that PK really enjoyed. This is what he thought would be neat.
When he was young, he was always into games and video games. I never thought he would bring it to this level, but he was always a creative and curious kid, out of the ordinary, and taking it to this level, I'm extremely pleased.
Or JRPG, which happens to be the type of game I like the most.
Generally, most people can't really do solo projects, and so you would probably have to look online as the best way to look for other people who have a sort of interest in what you're trying to create and try to see if they're going to help you out.
Actually, that's how PK and I first met. We were both playing Pokemon games Sloan Creature or something. But we met there, and we talked about Pokemon a bunch, and then we eventually became friends, and we found other interest in. I started play testing the game and talking about him with how to make it look better and sound better. Probably September, October-ish. I've been working with him since then, and a few other people to make sure it runs smoothly. That'd be really unfortunate if you.
In the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak, economic devastation hit Kotra's project hard.
A lot of the people on the dev team, like the artists and the composers, suddenly didn't have jobs, and so they had to take a step back from the game as well, and so that slowed down progress a lot, but we managed to speed up and pick back up fairly recently.
Even with the setbacks, Kotra is optimistic that his game will launch soon. This is John Falco with Cheney Kelly, Lee Kinnebrew, and Aiden Beaumirage reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
We hope you enjoyed these stories. Until next time, I'm Christian Giordano. And remember, if there's a story to find, we'll find it here on Leopard Spotlight.
Thank you.